All right. Well, welcome to the Lone Tree Arts Center. I'm Paul Ackerman. I am the former interim executive director, and we are so excited to see you all here tonight and share with you the plans for our 21-22 season as we return to full capacity and a full slate of shows. Thank you. You're here. Before we get into the details, it is my pleasure to introduce our new executive director, Nicolle Davies. Nicolle is a Highlands Ranch resident and joins us from the Colorado State Library System with an impressive track record throughout her career in leadership, communication, fundraising, and community engagement. Supporting Nicolle in her new role as artistic director is our own Lee Chandler. Lee, her tremendous leadership as a marketing director over the last 6 years has led to tremendous growth, and we're poised now to take that even higher with this new season. Nicolle, would you like to say a few words?
It's so wonderful to be here with all of you tonight. Welcome back, welcome home to your theater. It's wonderful to be able to present next year's season. I'm thrilled to be here. Very exciting evening for all of us. So welcome back. Enjoy the show. I think you're going to be really excited about the lineup.
And we are absolutely very lucky to have Nicolle. We're going to tell you about this season, but it's really hard to talk about this season without making mention of last year. It was really tough on a lot of performing arts centers, including ours. But we were so lucky because we were able to stay open throughout the pandemic. We quickly pivoted to live stream, and our unbelievable crew became so proficient that we had some of the best live stream concerts out there. Hopefully some of you have been able to watch them. We were one of the first theaters in the state, and possibly even in the country, to open back up last summer with our Tunes on the Terrace series. And we got shut down again when things got bad in early November last year. But we were one of the first to reopen again this past March at a reduced capacity, of course. But we started planning for this season, this upcoming season, back in January. Our former executive director, Lisa Rigsby Peterson, started the process, and when she left in February, Paul and I took over. And we now have this incredible season to present to you. But before we do, it's our 10th anniversary season. And we have breaking news. And by breaking news, I literally mean breaking news. This happened yesterday afternoon. We are thrilled to announce that our headliner to celebrate our 10th anniversary season will be Pink Martini with China Forbes. Yeah, right? It's unbelievable. So for those of you who don't know, Pink Martini plays places like Red Rocks with the Colorado Symphony. They play halls that are 3 times the size of ours. So to have them in such an intimate 500-seat theater is just going to be an incredible way to celebrate our 10th anniversary. So Pink Martini calls themselves a little orchestra, but they're truly a big band, and they cross genres between classical, jazz, and pop, and they are just plain fun. Park Meadows is sponsoring our 10th anniversary season, so thank you to Park Meadows, and here is Pink Martini. Really incredible that they're going to be here. They are not in your season brochure. Like I said, breaking news just happened yesterday. We will be going on sale to you, subscribers and donors, sometime next week. It's going to be separate from the brochure, so watch your email for an announcement. And now Paul's going to fill us in on our new series.
So, Lone Tree Sessions. It's a curated series of concerts but led by Grammy-nominated recording artist Gerald Albright. Gerald's a Castle Pines resident, and he and his wife, Glynis, have attended shows here, and like you, they love the hall. Now, he had the notion not only of playing here himself, but getting his friends and colleagues in the jazz world to play here as well. Lone Tree Sessions is one of those obvious ideas that kicked around for a while, but it came to fruition when our longtime friends and supporter, Ada and the late Harold Anderson, set up a meeting with our former executive director, Lisa Rigsby Peterson. Discussions evolved, a concert was planned, COVID intervened, but this idea was too good not to endure. So as plans for 21-22 reemerged, we picked up where they left off, and Lone Tree Sessions was hatched. Gerald's vision is no less than to make the Lone Tree Arts Center the premier jazz venue in the region and a destination stop for world-class musicians from around the globe. Those of you who were lucky enough to attend the kickoff concert last month know that the man is the real deal and can deliver. Now, we teased this at his concert, but our next offering in the Lone Tree Sessions is Keb Mo on August 27th. Let's take a listen. Yeah. So, this solo show here is going to be almost as intimate as that video, although I don't think he'll be bringing the dog. A little side note, Gerald and Keb attended high school together in LA, so really looking forward to that one. Next up, in September, is a man who, when he broke onto the scene as a young singer, was hailed as the South African Michael Jackson. Jonathan Butler grew up in apartheid South Africa and was the first black artist to be played on white radio stations in South Africa during that era. His career has garnered multiple Grammy nominations, and he's branched into R&B, jazz fusion, and gospel. Take a listen. But Gerald is not done there. He is actively working with us to add one more concert to the series this season. So we will be announcing that as a later date. Stay tuned. We've got a number of other great concerts to tell you about, and Lee is going to let you know what those are.
So if you're trying to follow along with us in the brochure, you're not going to be able to now because we're going to be going through genres instead of dates. Sorry about that, but the first genre is popular music. We have an exciting new production from our good friend Chris Starkey of Home for the Holidays fame. It's in the same vein of Motones versus Jerseys, but this time it's girl bands versus boy bands. So it's called Saved by the Band, and you're gonna hear music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, groups like the Bangles and New Kids on the Block, and you can bet on a great competition between the two, as we always had with Motones versus Jerseys. You're gonna vote on your phone, and somebody will win at the end of the night. And I can tell you that just like with Motones versus Jerseys, the singers are gonna be incredibly talented. So one of the shows that's coming in November is one that we had to postpone last year. It's coming back. It's Davina and the Vagabonds with Hot Club of Cowtown. And they have a concert that they're calling the Finest Hour, a celebration of the music that ended World War II. If you saw a Hot Club when they were here about 7 years ago, you know that they have an incredibly fun brand of jazz and bluegrass and Americana, and you are going to be absolutely charmed by Davina and the Vagabonds.
I know you're trying to take my man and my money. Girl, that's just what you do. So you better step up, step out or start running, or I'm gonna make a mess of it. I know you want it, it ain't happening. Wait, I can't, you ain't got what it takes. You can hide that skirt up, girl, no one's looking. You see nothing, it's gonna pretty up that face. Well, you ain't got it, can't have it, oh, you want it, can't touch it. I'll be aware, girl, I'm a walk-in, and I own it, and I ain't shipping. I think you better step up, step out, and start running. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do, come on, boy.
Sally, she lives way down on the Shamrock Alley. The number on the gate and the number on the door. The next house over in the grocery store. Stay all night, stay a little longer. Dance all night, dance a little longer. Pull off your coat and throw it in the corner. Don't see why I don't stay a little longer.
It's going to be a really fun night with both of those bands here. In 2019, we had a really great time with One Night in Memphis. I'm hoping that some of you did as well. That was a tribute to the night that Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis recorded together in Sun Studios in Memphis. That whole crew is back this season with John Mueller, that's John Mueller right there, John Mueller's Winter Dance Party, which is a recreation of the Winter Dance Party tour, which was Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper right before the day the music died. So you will be able to hear your favorite songs in this show like Peggy Sue, La Bamba, and Chantilly Lace.
Put your hands together good and loud for the world famous Winter Dance Party Band.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging down.
It's going to be fun. LTAC favorite Mary Louise Lee is going to be back with her band in March. She has performed on our stage amazing tributes to Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, and Diana Ross. And this time around, she's going to focus on the Empress of Soul, Gladys Knight, and the Pips. I'm really excited to hear her version of Midnight Train to Georgia, and I heard it through the grapevine. Okay, so Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is a legend. He's a blues legend, and I can't tell you how exciting it is to see an artist of his caliber along with Pink Martini and Gerald Albright and Keb Mo and Jonathan Butler, perform in this 500-seat hall when artists like him perform in front of thousands of people, like at the Denver Botanic Gardens. He has played with everyone, and he won his latest Grammy in 2018 for collaboration with none other than Keb Mo. They're not going to play here together, but we're lucky to see them each separately. This show is just going to make you smile, and here's a video so you can get a taste.
Sweet but then a honey bee, baby been sweet on me. Then a honey bee, my queen bee, oh, rock me to my soul, 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 whoa, whoa.
That video makes me so happy I can't even begin to tell you. I can't wait for him to be here. And finally, we can't get enough of Motown music around here. Hopefully you can't either. And one of our LTAC favorites, Charles Brown, is celebrating the music of Smokey Robinson and others with Smokey and Me. You know Charles as a member of the Doo Wop Project, so he's been here a couple of times. He's also performed in Tommy at the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. But he was nominated for a Tony Award for his portrayal of Smokey Robinson in Motown the Musical on Broadway. He is going to perform Smokey's greatest hits, of course, and he's also going to perform some of the music that's been really meaningful to him as a Broadway performer throughout his time on Broadway. Here he is during quarantine singing some Smokey.
I'm the life of the party 'cause I tell a joke or two. Although I may be laughing loud and hearty, and deep inside I'm blue. So take a good look at my face. You'll see my smile looks out of place. If you look closer, it's easy to trace the tracks of my tears. I need you, need you.
Well, as the old saw goes, we have all types, country and Western. Right out of the chute, we're going to kick things off on the Western theme with the return engagement of Michael Martin Murphey. Murph is going to be here on August 22nd.
So by the dark of the moon I planted, but there came an early snow. Been a hoot owl howling outside my window now, 6 nights in a row. She's coming for me, I know, and on wildfire we're both gonna go. We'll be riding wildfire, riding wildfire, riding wildfire.
Later in the fall, we have a show we've been looking forward to since she first sang here in 2012 during the John Denver Christmas Tribute Concert. Gail Bliss has won nationwide acclaim for her portrayal of Patsy Cline in the theatrical piece A Closer Walk. It's our pleasure to welcome her back in a full-length concert featuring the music of Patsy Cline.
I bet your class ring that proved you care, and it still looks the same as when you gave it, dear. The only thing different, the only thing new. I bet these little things she's got you.
Finally, in April, we get an incredible retrospective of the greatest hits of classic Nashville, performed by Jason Petty, an Obie winner for his off-Broadway portrayal of Hank Williams in Lost Highway, and Gail Bliss returning to join him as they take us through all the great hits of Dolly, Hank, Patsy, Tammy, George, and Merle. And now Lee is going to tell us about a trio of shows that are country music adjacent. They're bluegrass.
Well, we are really excited to introduce you to Michael Cleveland and Flamekeeper, if you don't already know who Michael Cleveland is. He was a child fiddle prodigy. He learned to play the violin when he was 4, and he appeared at the Grand Ole Opry and Prairie Home Companion when he was just a teenager. Oh, and he's blind, and he lost 80% of the hearing in one of his ears when he was a kid. Just last year, he won a Grammy for Best Bluegrass Album, and you are not going to want to miss this show if you're into bluegrass at all. This is Michael Cleveland and his band Flamekeeper.
Dear old pal, it breaks my heart to leave you here alone. I'll go and ride the range on the Texas road. But my love for you, old pal, it shall linger home. I will always think of you, although you're dead and gone.
Really incredible talent. Very much looking forward to having him here. Another incredible talent is We Banjo 3. They're an interesting Celtic bluegrass group that's getting a lot of national and international recognition. They're from Ireland, and we were lucky enough to be able to present a St. Patrick's Day live stream with them this year. When we did that, we were totally blown away by their artistry and just the sheer fun that they project when they're on stage, and they weren't even in front of a live audience. They're going to bring their Celtgrass Christmas to us this year, and here is a peek at what they sound like. Right? Two things to say about this band before we move on. If you're into bluegrass at all and you come to this show, you will be able to tell people in 6 months or a year that you saw them here before they made it really big. And the other thing is that they do have an opener, and the name of the band that's opening is Beauregard. They're bluegrass based out of Boulder. And when we found out that they were going to be opening for the show and we checked them out, they were so great that we invited them to come to a full-length evening at Tunes on the Terrace this August. So don't miss that show either. In January, LTAC favorites the Hillbenders are coming back for the 3rd time, this time with Whograss. If you saw their performance of The Who's Tommy a couple of years ago when they were here, you know that they have just incredible bluegrass interpretation and arrangements of the music of The Who. And with this show, they're going to expand it to the entire Who catalog.
People try to put us down. just because we get around. My generation, things they do look awful. I hope I die before I get old. It's my generation, my generation.
Even on my favorite table, he can be my best. His disciples lead him in, and he just does the rest. He's got crazy flipping fingers, never seen him fall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays me pinball.
And now we're going to go from fiddle and banjo and mandolin to guitar with Paul.
Over the years, we've had a great response to shows featuring guitar virtuosity. So this season, we have 3 offerings. This fall, we're in for a treat from Boston music scene legend Johnny A. In Just Me and My Guitar, Johnny will take us through the British Invasion songbook with the music of the 60s that influenced him as a young musician. Don't miss this intimate, amazing solo tour de force, up close and personal. We're also bringing back the acclaimed International Guitar Night Tour. For over a dozen years, this tour has featured artists from around the world in a great night of guitar music. This year, we feature Stephanie Jones from Australia, two-hand tapper Alexander Miskow from Russia, and Eleonora Ostrino from Italy, and Germany's Latin swing master Lulo Reinhardt. Take a listen.
Ya no estás más a mi lado, corazón, en el alma solo y tengo soledad. Y ya no puedo verte, porque Dios me hizo quererte para hacerme sufrir más. Siempre fuiste la razón de mi existir, adorarte para mí fue religión. En tus brazos me encontraba el amor que me brindaba, el calor y la pasión.
Then in May, we have a jazz-influenced show. The great guitars, 3 great guitarists, Martin Taylor, Frank Vignola, and John Jorgensen. They trace the evolution of the jazz guitar in solo, duet, and trio performances that are simply amazing.
Well, I can tell you that I try not to have favorites for performances that come every year, but it's kind of hard to do that. And the next 2 performances that we're going to talk about are ones that I'm really looking forward to. Both performances meld classical music and jazz. The first is the Boulder Philharmonic with the Marcus Roberts Trio performing an evening of Gershwin. Marcus Roberts, to be on our stage again, is just unbelievable. He is a jazz piano virtuoso. And he also happened to lose his sight when he was a child. His trio consists of him with bassist Rodney Jordan, also a really famous bassist, and a drummer by the name of Jason Marsalis. That last name should be familiar to you. He's the son of Ellis, who is also the brother, and he's also the brother of Wynton and Bradford. This is not Boulder Phil performing. Can't wait. And the other one is the Queen's Cartoonists. They are like nothing you've ever seen before. It's a group of talented jazz and classical musicians, and they play the music of your favorite cartoons and probably some cartoons you haven't seen before that are international. And while they're playing, you're going to watch them on the screen that's behind them, and it is just pure fun.
Opportunity is lucky. Yes, believe me, but I've got a very important appointment. I'll say you have. My card. Picture a packed house. The kids on. The orchestra gives them a 4-bar vamp, and the kid gives it to them like this. I'm wild about Harry, and Harry's wild about me. Not the heavenly promises of his kisses tells me what's next.
It's truly pure fun.
Oh, That Daffy Duck. What an actor, huh? We're particularly proud of the reputation and track record we've built over the years in the Broadway performer community, starting with our gala grand opening and a magical night with Tony winner Brian Stokes Mitchell, and continuing on into our 21-22 season. We're very excited to announce a concert that was delayed from 2020, featuring two Broadway legends. Andrea McCardle, joining us in October, is an evening of Andrea McCardle and Donna McKechnie. Andrea McCardle, the original Annie, has an unmatched career since and has become a fantastic interpreter of both the musical theater and Great American Songbooks. Donna McKechnie, a Tony winner for A Chorus Lines, joins up for an evening of stories and songs you won't want to miss.
When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, oh, sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you. Tomorrow, you're always a day away.
Give me somebody to dance with. Give me a place to fit in. Help me return to the world of the living by showing me how to begin. Play me the music. Give me the chance to come through. All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and the chance to dance for you.
In November, we have a treat with our old friend Scott Coulter. Scott manages and performs at the famed Feinstein's 54 Below Cabaret, located in New York's Studio 54, which is now a Broadway theater. Scott has teamed up with the ASCAP Foundation to preserve and perform the works of famed Broadway composer Jerry Herman. Hello Dolly, Mame, Mac and Mabel, La Caja Fall, just some of the legendary shows that Herman penned. And then finally, in March, we host Chris Mann. You know him from The Voice, Phantom of the Opera, and during the pandemic, a whole lot of YouTube clips. He brings us a show entitled From Gershwin to Gaga, which celebrates the Tony Bennett catalog. Take a listen.
When I give my all, it will be complete, or I'll never give my all. And the moment I can feel that you feel that way too, is when I fall in love with you.
Really beautiful. Okay, so one of the things that was really hard during the pandemic was last December when we weren't able to gather together for the holidays. And so this holiday season, we're going to give you something that you can really look forward to, some of your old favorites. We're going to kick off the holiday season with A Face Christmas, everyone's favorite a cappella group with a beatbox, and they are sure to put you in the holiday spirit. One really great thing about Face Coming too is that they're going to be doing a sensory-friendly performance earlier in the day for folks with autism and developmental disabilities, which is the first national touring performer that has done that for us, so we're really excited. But anyway, here is a video to get you into the holiday spirit.
O shepherds, leave your flocks at rest. Journey forth to Bethlehem, find the lamb in rest. Sing we Noel, the King is born Noel. Sing we Noel, the King is born Noel. Sing we know of Christmas, Noel, sing we here. Sing we know of Christmas, Noel, sing we here. Sing we now of Christmas, Noel, sing we here. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel.
Sing we Noel, the King is born Noel. Sing we Noel, the King is born Noel.
Sing we now of Christmas, Noel, sing we here.
I just want to put in a plug for We Banjo 3. I know we've talked about them, but they're the next group chronologically in our holiday season. It's going to be a really fun Celtic bluegrass Christmas with them on December 1st. One of our favorite local choral groups, Kantorei, is returning for their annual holiday performance here at the Arts Center. And if you're looking for an absolutely beautiful evening of holiday and Christmas music, it's the show for you. It's really, truly gorgeous music. But perhaps the best news is that Home for the Holidays is back. We can't wait to share our favorite holiday production with you. Hopefully it's also your favorite holiday production. This year, of course, is going to have an updated storyline. I can imagine that there will be some references to the fact that we couldn't gather last year due to the pandemic, but don't let that get in your way. It's going to definitely warm your spirit like it does every year, and if you need a reminder of what that is, here you go.
I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you.
I know you've missed it as much as we have. The final holiday performance that we have is an LTech favorite. It's the Doo Wop Project, and they're bringing their holiday show back just after Christmas to keep the holiday spirit going. This one sells out every year, and it's for good reason. If you just want to feel great, and who doesn't want to feel great, this is a show for you.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding-dong, ring-a-ding-a-ding-ding-dong.
Sleigh bells are ringing, snowflakes are falling, carolers singing out in the street. It's holiday season, everything Christmas should be. Oh, there's kids of all ages waiting for Santa, carolers singing out in the street. It's holiday season, everything Christmas should be. Oh, Santa and his reindeer covered with snow, little diamond Sonia on the mistletoe. Everyone together on this silent night, singing doo wop by the fire. Everything's alright.
Rounding out the variety of our season are some performances that feature art from around the world. And in January, it always seems like we could use a little Hawaii in our lives. So we have the masters of Hawaiian music coming to bring us a little of the aloha spirit. This features four-time Grammy winner George Kahumoko on the slack key guitar, Herb Ota Jr., and ukulele master Led Ka'apana Jr. rounding out the lineup. Take a listen.
Aue avale anoe E kafua kalehua O ka aina aloha O ko hakuloha
February brings Nai Ni Chen Dance Company here during the Lunar New Year to enchant us with their blend of contemporary choreography and traditional Chinese dance. Discovering Antarctica was a surprise hit at the Edinburgh Festival and broke box office records in Dublin. Solo actor Aidan Dooley brings to life the incredible story of Antarctic explorer Tom Crean, who was party to 3 of the most incredible polar explorations of the late Victorian era, including the infamous Shackleton voyage. Then finally, we turn up the heat with the red-hot flamenco vivo Carlotta Santana Latido. With live flamenco guitar and driving beat of the dancer's own percussion, choreographer Jose Maldonado takes the traditional dance form into our modern world and explores the full range of human emotion that is the heart of flamenco. Olé.
Red hot. So we have some family theatrical performances coming your way this season too. This year we're bringing back our favorite baseball historian, Bob Kendrick, and it's coming up soon. It's on July 15th. It's in connection with the All-Star game that's going to be happening here in Denver. Whether or not you like baseball, you will absolutely be mesmerized by the stories that Bob tells about the players in the Negro Leagues. And this year, Bob is going to talk about how Major League Baseball is integrating the stats of the Negro Leagues players that weren't allowed in the Major League. So if you've been before, it's going to be new content. Also, if you've been before, you know how amazing he is. He truly is mesmerizing. There's no better word to say it. Speaking of baseball, we are excited to present a one-man show about the man himself, Jackie Robinson. It's a perfect way for families to learn more about what it was like for Jackie Robinson and other players that were revered on the field but shunned off of it.
It was the end of the Civil War. Former slaves were getting used to their first tastes of freedom. You see, for the first time ever, former slaves could go anywhere they wanted to go. Well, almost anywhere. For years, Jim Crow color laws kept many African Americans out of the infield, off the track, and in their own separate bleachers. For the next few minutes, I'm going to school y'all. I'm going to school y'all on over 50 years of African Americans, black folk, who got tired of riding the bench while Jim Crow played in the game. Who am I? Today, let's just say I'm Jackie Robinson.
And finally, when Lisa was at a booking conference earlier this year, she found this incredible new musical for families about teenagers. Well, specifically, it's about one teenager, Linda Blackman, who fought alongside Dr. Martin Luther King for the right for African Americans to vote. She was jailed 9 times before her 15th birthday. It's a true story. And she was also the youngest person to walk all the way from Selma to Montgomery. This is Turning 15 on the Road to Freedom.
We must be ready tomorrow. Give us the ballot. Give us the ballot. Give us the ballot.
Dr. King wanted to show the whole world that black people still demanded the right to vote.
Steady, loving confrontation.
Steady, loving confrontation. Steady, loving confrontation.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Our National Geographic Live series has grown in popularity since we started in 2015. This season, the lineup continues to astound us. We have archaeologist Isaiah Nengo, biologist Ray Wynn Grant, paraclimber from Boulder, Maureen Beck, and marine photographer Thomas Peshak.
We're all searching for what surprises us, inspires us, and pushes us further.
Now, as they say, if you don't know where you're coming from, then you don't know where you're going. All right, so what I want to do is I want to take you on a safari. I want to take you on a safari to Africa, but it's going to be a safari like none that you've ever had before, because this is going to be a time safari. I brought my time capsule. Come on in, strap your belt. We're going to be moving fast, right? So, on our safari, we have a few choices of places where we can go back in time and look at systems that can tell us about how these wild places in Africa were formed. We can go to Uganda, we can go to Tanzania, we can go to Ethiopia, we can go to Kenya. I'll choose Kenya, partly because I come from Kenya, but partly because there's a place called Turkana, Lake Turkana region, where we have an incredibly well-preserved record of just about, you could track human history from present all the way back to the time the dinosaurs existed. Okay, so the record there is better than anywhere else in Africa.
I'm Dr. Ray Wynn Grant. I travel to the most amazing places on the planet, tracking, tranquilizing, and studying some of the world's most dangerous and exotic animals. I'm driven to discover the science that will ensure these animals will survive.
My role as a scientist is to ask questions that haven't been answered.
Each expedition pairs me with a new team in a quest to collect scientific data. The dangers are real, but with the survival of a species at stake, the risks are worth taking.
Here on my arm, I have a Madagascar boa.
When a new species is discovered, I'm there.
The data we collect today is critical for the future of the species.
When a wild animal encroaches too close to humans, I get the call.
She doesn't thermoregulate at this age, so while she's away from her mother, we have to snuggle her tight to keep her warm.
Their survival often depends on humans, so I meet with the local community to share my data and advise them on how to coexist with their wild neighbors.
Sometime last summer I decided, I want to find something hard and I want to lead it. And so a friend of mine recommended Reefer Madness, which is an 11A, 4-star 11A in Clear Creek. And I probably spent 5 or 6 days on top rope, 3 of which I thought, this is impossible, I can't do it. And then on that 4th day, I unlocked some kind of sequence where all of a sudden I thought, whoa, this is possible.
Got this. Yeah.
Not that long ago, I would have just settled for being a 5'8" top rope climber for the rest of my life. And then I did Reefer Madness, and it just didn't seem that hard. It was such an eye-opening experience. I was just like, I should be doing harder routes.
I don't get the impression that she has any intention of stopping anytime soon.
Join the Leviathans of the Deep with photographer Thomas Peshak live on stage as he shows the personalities and grandeur of some of the most majestic creatures of the ocean. Wild seas, secret shores. Come explore with us. National Geographic Live.
That's our main stage season. It's pretty great. We're really excited about it. But before we leave, I think we'd be remiss if I didn't let you know that we're continuing with our community impact programs. Those are series that really make a difference for people in Lone Tree and in the South Metro area. We're going to start up our Seedlings program for toddlers again in the fall. We haven't had any of those programs for the last year and a half. We do have a great lineup for Passport to Culture, which is our monthly program for elementary and middle school aged kids. We've actually been able to do some of those starting this past March. And the same lineup for Passport is going to happen for our sensory-friendly programs for people with autism and other disabilities. We've been able to do some of those as well. And we are thankfully also going to be back to presenting student matinees in schools, obviously for school-age kids, including Jackie Robinson and Turning 15 on the Road to Freedom. For seniors, we have wonderful artists coming for Arts in the Afternoon. They are listed in your brochure, so you can see that. Arts in the Afternoon is our monthly Wednesday afternoon program that includes an educational component along with their performance. And I'm very happy to say that we are returning to offering cookies and lemonade after each performance to encourage social time. And finally, our Spark program for people experiencing early memory loss and Alzheimer's has really thrived online throughout the pandemic, which has been incredible. But we're very excited to begin offering in-person programs for Spark this fall. So a couple of housekeeping items for the main stage season for ticketing. In order to help you get...
Thank you for joining us for this live stream. I'm Robin Skirdo, Director of Individual Giving here at the Lone Tree Art Center. And today I'm coming to you from the performer wall downstairs. Over the past 10 years, we've had artists leave their signatures on a brick in the belly of the Art Center. While we haven't had many signatures the past year, we have had the privilege of reaching the community in multiple ways as we continue to bring professional live streams and Zoom sessions to thousands of patrons who, like you today, were able to enjoy our remarkable programming from wherever you are. For those of you that have supported us, thank you for your generosity. We hope you will renew your support for all the programming coming to these walls. If you would like to become part of our donor family, please visit us at our website, lonetreeartcenter.org, for more information. We're thrilled the ink is drying on new signatures. Thanks for joining us today. We look forward to welcoming you back in person at the Art Center when you're ready.